Hello and welcome to the channel, and welcome to... Welcome to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Let's get boots on the ground. I'm sure by now all of you out there have tried this title, but I thought I would give you my opinions on this game, having played Wildlands and having been reached out from Ubisoft to see whether I want to become part of Delta Company. Now, as I said when Ubisoft did reach out to me, I am not one of those YouTubers who will say everything is rosy. I made it perfectly clear that if there are things in this title I don't like, or things I think are a step back or are just not working in this title, then I'm going to tell you. Many of the people out there get paid backhanders by a lot of developers to say that everything is amazing. Well, you know me, I'll tell you exactly how it is. In this video, I'm going to talk about the graphics, the audio, the AI, and is this really the next iteration of the title and the genre, or is this more Wildlands 1.2? Well, let's start at the beginning, shall we? And let's approach this as if we've played quite a lot of Wildlands and we boot the game up. What's our initial thoughts? I initially came into this title expecting it to be just like Wildlands, but on a new map and a couple of new features. But I was, I'll be honest, quite quietly surprised that it didn't feel like Wildlands, even though it was familiar. It was different, but it was familiar, if that makes any sense to you. You're immediately going to be at home from first getting your boots on the ground, but there is a whole new gamut now of the whole RPG elements that have been brought into this title, and you're either going to love or hate it. It seems many parts of the community are comparing this title now to The Division, and while that could be fair with weapon ranking and player rankings now, and items and kit and everything else that has to be grinded and worked for, and enemies based on the kit that you actually have, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing is not for me to say. This really will be for you to decide whether the now core functionality of this title needed that upgrade to be slightly similar to The Division. Graphically, I think that this game is a step up from Wildlands. Wildlands, for me, the start of that game really was the environments. I enjoyed just exploring and seeing the biomes change from desert to jungle, etc. absolutely seamlessly, and the environmental artists within this title really do deserve a pint of beer and a Yorkshire pudding. It really is beautiful to be able to just run around and just experience the different forests and woods and lush bogs and marshlands and so on and so on. And while we are limited in the beta to the areas that we can go, it all seems quite the same. I haven't spent a huge amount exploring some of the outer regions, as I wanted to wait for the actual title to come out in case there's a wipe and we have to do it all over again. Now, I don't want this to be a 15 to 20 minute long video, as many of you out there have already got your opinion on this title and whether you're going to be purchasing it or not. And from looking on YouTube, again, it seems to be a little bit of a mixed bag. There are two glaring issues I feel this title really needs to upgrade or needs a little bit more work, but with the title launching in less than, a week? Well, I'm slightly worried. And the first item that really, I think is a big concern is the AI difficulty. Now, on screen, we shall have a look at a mission here, and I'm playing this on the hardest difficulty you can get, with most of the HUD off, because that's how I enjoy the immersion more. The AI characters don't see the C4 that I put down on the ground. I can stand within 15 feet of them, and they don't see me. This, for me, and this is only my opinion, everybody else could feel differently, this kills my immersion. I should not be able to fly a drone within 100 meters of an enemy without them hearing or seeing it. It really, I hate to say it, it really does make the game very arcadey. And we know from the recent blog that's been updated, the devs have decided to make all the AI levels and the difficulty easier. Running speed has been increased, weapon swapping has been increased. So my hope from seeing that first trailer, feeling that the devs were going to push this in a more slower, tactical way, well, my heart, I will admit, is a little bit crushed. I want to get the negatives out of the way first before we talk about the things I really do like about this title. And the next issue that I have is one that was present in Wildlands, and it's one that's never really been fixed or updated, and that, as you can probably guess, is the vehicles. These vehicles feel as though they're really floaty. They just don't have any weight or inertia to them. It really gives you that arcade feel, and again, I know I keep going on about this, but that's the kind of player that I am. I like to turn the hood off, I like it slower, I like to work tactically, shall we say, or even get myself more immersed in the environments and feel like I'm actually role-playing a little bit. But when it comes to the vehicles, they don't feel any different from Wildlands. They feel really spongy and springy, like they're stuck to the road, like it's almost impossible to tip over these vehicles. And I honestly don't feel like they have been looked at since Wildlands, even though the devs have stated that these have been looked at. Maybe if you've played the beta, let me know your thoughts and comments on the vehicles, but for me, it really does feel like a disappointment. Next on my list of slight gripes is when it comes to being spotted by the enemy. On occasions when I've been near an enemy base and I have been spotted, some soldiers will call out for reinforcements and they appear on the nearest hill near to you instantly. Well, that's another instant immersion breaker. If there is a small base, say 500 meters away, and the enemy calls for reinforcements, those soldiers should come from 500 meters away, and it should take a while for them to actually get here. Call in reinforcements, and multiple drones are literally on top of you. Really is a game breaker. And this goes again back to the kind of player that you actually are. If you want to play this in co-op and just enjoy it and have a laugh with your friends, then fine, this title caters that for you. But if you want to play more hardcore in a slower tactical method, I'm worried that this title is not going to give you that itch for you to scratch. But time will tell, as we know that the developers are listening, and with me being part of Delta Company, I've kind of got access to the devs in a private Discord. So I hope they don't give me the chop for all the negativity that I'm putting into this video, but I really hope that they put a spin on it and think of it as these are the things that could be improved with more positivity and a few more changes to cater for all play styles and players across the board wanting to enjoy a huge tactical shooter. So let's talk about some of the positives, as it's not all negative. There is such a deep RPG element here within the menu system that I was initially a little bit lost and confused, and I know a lot of other people were as well, so hopefully Ubisoft can try and maybe do a few more tutorials online to show you some of the menu systems and the missions to go out and get extra kit that you've got to go find and rank up and things like foregrips and all that kind of thing. It is a little bit confusing. What I really do like about this title is within the social hub, you can now get extra intel by asking the other AI players that are actually there, and there are cutscenes, a little bit like Witcher. When you want to investigate something, you can pick a choice. That element I really do like, and it appears that some of the missions now, instead of just go from A to B, kill and come back, some of them, for instance, I was tasked with finding some dog tags. I was given a rough area, and as I turned all the elements off on the hood, it gave me a clue such as northwest of the cove at a certain place. So go into the map, you can look and try and get to that location, use the drone as a bit of intel, or fly over in a helicopter, drop down, find the intel, That would then lead you on to another village at a certain place, and you would have to then go speak to the villagers and get intel from them, and so on and so on. So it looks like the missions now, rather than being the simple wash, rinse and repeat, have got a little bit of interest in them. And it means if you want to turn everything off, this game, I think, will really immerse you in the story, and a lot of the side missions will become a lot more interesting. The food and water element and the survival aspects of this game feel really quite limited within the beta. I'm hoping that they can open up a lot more. It's hard coming from games like DayZ and Escape from Tarkov that I really do love, where hydration and food plays such a massive part in it. And I'm hoping as we get further in, or when the game actually launched, these will become much more in-depth and more of a concern for you when you're out in the field. I really don't like the aspect of being able to open my backpack and I have a selection of 8 guns and I can change loads of clothing. That makes no sense to me. If you're going to include the survival aspect of it, then make my gear limited when I go into the field so that these things are important. What this game really nails is the stealth aspect. I've been playing some of these missions, and instead of actually killing the enemies, I've been waiting until they've moved off on their patrol, and I've come back, stolen a vehicle, and then moved off. Those elements of that decision making in whether you should kill the enemy or not, I don't think there are many titles out there that really nail it as well as this. The audio is great. I do wish it was a little bit more like Sandstorm, a little bit more gritty and a little bit more punchy, especially on some of the weapons that we get in the game. And graphically, I've got absolutely no complaints whatsoever. I'm running this in ultrawide 4K at 60 frames a second, and I'm actually getting over 60 absolutely rock solid. So this game is extremely well optimized compared to Wildlands when it first came out, which was, let's be honest, a little bit of a mess. So it looks like the devs really have taken that on board, and for a beta, I haven't really noticed any bugs whatsoever, and that's genuine, barring the odd occasion, should I say, take that back, when my backpack has disappeared when I've died and come back in. But again, maybe that would be a feature that I would love. If you got killed, you should, maybe get extracted or back to the social hub, and then you could go back out and find your gear, kit, etc, etc. So maybe that's something that will be coming in the title. Now, I know there has been probably quite a few negative comments throughout that video, but I have really been enjoying the title, and I've been playing this solo. The fact that I don't need the AI now to be worrying about them controlling them is brilliant. I know they are coming further down the line, and if they can increase the AI and make them a little bit more manageable, then that'll be something I think that if you can turn them off and take them with you, etc, etc, so there are choices there, this game really, really will improve and get a lot better. I've got high hopes for this title, and the beta, I'm sure, is just a glimpse. I'm hoping that Ubisoft don't do the usual where on release the game is exactly the same. It's absolutely no different from the open beta. But so far I've been really enjoying it, and today at work I couldn't wait to come back and boot it up again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the sign of a good title. Hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been my first experience of the title. I've been brutally honest there. I hope the other people who are involved with Ubisoft can be as honest and straight down the line, because this means the game will improve, the devs will take it on the chin, and it will mean a better experience for Ghost Recon for every type of player, both casual and the more hardcore player. And I think this is a title that really stands out above everything else. I can't think of another title that's kind of like this. And my only last request is, I really, really wish the vehicles were first-person view, aka a little bit like Far Cry. Anyway, I've been Box of Demons, and this has been the open beta for Ghost Recon. Let me know your thoughts, whether you've got the title, whether you've tried it, and what your thoughts are on my feedback. And I will, of course, as part of Delta Company, I will pass on the majority, if they are all similar, to the devs and let you know how we get on. I will be doing some more videos on the extreme hardness with no HUD whatsoever, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you with boots on the ground real soon. Bye-bye.